Thank you. Okay, I'd like to call to order the Sumner City Council meeting. The date is the 20th of September and the time is 6:01. Again, as a reminder, on June 30th, Governor Inslee issued his Washington Ready guidelines, effectively reopening the state of Washington, removing most of the COVID-19 restrictions. The city has been working hard to upgrade both the layout and the technology in the city council chambers so that future meetings can accommodate both in-person and remote attendance. The upgrades are expected to be completed this fall. Until that time, we'll continue to conduct our meetings virtually using the Zoom platform. The access information for the meeting has been posted on the city's website and is on the city council meeting agenda. And with that, I would ask that you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll move on to the invocation, and I would call on Lance Schinkel. Lance.
Sir, thank you for the honor of opening your meeting again. I appreciate that and allowing the chaplain team in to do these things. Will you join me in this prayer in time of meditation? Wise and loving one, bless tonight's agenda to be fruitful and for the common good. Grant the mayor and the council to have ears to listen to the people that they serve, and for wisdom and to act for justice. I'm asking, would you graciously grant them wisdom to govern amidst the conflicts and interests and the issues of our times, a sense of welfare of true needs of our people, confidence in what is good and fitting, the ability to work together in harmony, even when there's honest disagreement. Please give assurance of what you would, excuse me, please give an assurance of what would please you and what would benefit those who live and work around the beloved city of Sumner. In your blessed name, amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Lance. Appreciate that, and have a wonderful evening. Okay, Michelle, would you please call the roll?
Potato.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Hayden.
Here.
Hamilton.
Here.
Hochstetter.
Absent.
Newman.
Here.
Reed.
Here.
Councilmember Hochstetter did call me and let me know that she would not be able to attend tonight's meeting. So I would ask council members to please give me a motion to excuse her from tonight's meeting.
I move we excuse Councilmember Hochstetter from this evening's meeting.
Second.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Reed, and thank you for the second, Councilmember Newman. All those in favor of excusing Councilmember Hochstetter for tonight's meeting, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Okay, the ayes have it, and Councilmember Hochstetter is excused. We'll move on to the consent agenda, and I would ask that Michelle please read the consent agenda.
Item number 1, approval of the minutes from the September 7th, 2021 regular council meeting and September 13th, 2021 study session. Item 2, approval of the checks and electronic payments in the amount of $839,227.42. Item 3, resolution number 1595, setting public hearing date for Sumner High School right-of-way vacation petition. Item 4, resolution 1596, authorizing Houston Road annexation petition to be circulated. Item 5, PSC agreement, White River restoration.
Is there any item on the consent agenda that a council member would like to remove for separate consideration?
I'd like to remove number 5, please.
Okay, are there any other items like to be removed for separate consideration? Seeing none, I would ask the deputy mayor for a motion to approve the consent agenda, items 1 through 4.
I move we approve the consent agenda, items 1 through 4.
Did I get a second, please?
Second.
Well, it was a close one. I'll give it to Councilmember Reed. Okay, there's been a motion on the floor to approve the consent agenda items number 1 through 4. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Okay, the ayes have it, and items 1 through 4 are approved, which brings us to item number 5, and I believe I would ask Councilmember Newman for a motion.
I can't make the motion. So
Got it, never mind. I got where you're coming from. Deputy Mayor, could I have a motion for item number 5?
I move we approve item number 5, PSE agreements under the consent agenda.
Okay, could I get a second, please?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Hamilton. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Councilmember Newman, make your statement.
Oh, simply for the notes, I just need it to indicate that I recused myself from this vote.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. Any other comments anybody has on item number 5? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor of item number 5, which are the PSE agreements, the White River Restoration, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it, with the record showing that Councilmember Newman recuses herself from the vote. Okay, move on to public hearings. There are no public hearings tonight. So we move on to regular business. There is no unfinished business. And before I ask Michelle to speak to the rules regarding public comment, I would ask if there is anybody that is attending the meeting that wish to address the council on anything that is not on the agenda. And I think the one member of the public that was attending no longer is. And so we have no members of the public. So therefore, I will close public comment, which moves on to new business. And under new business, first item is ordinance number 2792, Juneteenth holiday. I'm going to ask Councilmember Reed for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move we approve ordinance 2792, adding Juneteenth to the list of recognized paid holidays for non-represented staff beginning in 2022.
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Reed, and it's been seconded by Councilmember Newman. And I would call on HR Manager Adrian McNally.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight, I'm bringing ordinance number 2792 to incorporate Juneteenth as a paid holiday for non-represented staff. Juneteenth is also known as Emancipation Day and Freedom Day, and commemorates when the last enslaved African Americans learned that they were free in 1865 in Galveston, Texas, where Union soldiers brought them the news 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. Juneteenth has recently been recognized by President Biden as a paid federal holiday, and Washington Governor Jay Inslee has signed House Bill 1016, making Juneteenth a paid holiday for state employees beginning in 2022. If approved, this ordinance would add Juneteenth to the list of recognized paid holidays for non-represented staff beginning in 2022. I'd be glad to answer any questions you have.
Any members of the council have any questions for Adrian? Any questions? Okay, seeing none, I would ask Michelle to please call the roll.
Potato,
Yes.
Newman,
Yes.
Hayden,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Hamilton.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Ordinance number 2792, Juneteenth holiday is passed unanimously. And thank you very much, Adrian. We now move on to ordinance number 2793. And normally we would have a motion by Councilmember Hochstetter, but in her absence, I would call on Councilmember Newman.
I would make that motion if I had my other contraption in front of me with the actual ordinance. Did read the agenda and packet earlier.
Okay, So we'll ask another council member to make the motion. We'll see who's prepared.
I'll make the motion that we pass ordinance number 2973, chapter 10.20, speed code updates.
Okay, that will do. Okay, could I get a second to that motion?
I'll second. I know which one we're talking about now.
Okay, thank you for the second, Councilmember Newman. I would call on City Engineer Michael Kosa. Mr. Kosa.
Hello, Mayor, members of the City Council. Michael Kosa, the City Engineer. The Public Works Department, through the use of a design consultant, completed a study related to traffic calming in June of 2021. During that study, it was identified that some speed limits identified in our city code are inconsistent with right-of-way or with RCW 46.61.415, which establishes a minimum 20 miles an hour speed limit for city roadways. This ordinance revises the city code to eliminate 15-mile-an-hour speed limits in the city code and deletes other identified speed limit revisions that do not match field conditions or are not otherwise appropriate. Additionally, it was identified in section 10.20.040 that speed limits may be designated by the Director of Public Works. The Municipal Research and Services Center of Washington, MRSC, recommends all speed limits be designated by council action and codified. The code revision deletes language authorizing the Director of Public Works to designate speed limits. Finally, the school zone speed limit code section was reviewed and revised based on correspondence with the city, with the Sumner Bonnie Lake School District to be consistent with their operational hours and usage. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. This is a follow-on from our study session in August, where we discussed the neighborhood that had the 15-mile-an-hour speed limit designated. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kosa. I will call on Councilmember Reed.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to clarify for the folks that may watch this later that that this is bringing us consistent with state law, that it's not a traffic control measure in itself, that it's bringing us into compliance with state law.
I think very well stated, Councilmember Reed. Good clarification. Any other council members? Any questions or comments? It's a quiet group tonight. Okay, Michelle, would you please call the roll? And the reason I'm not asking for any public comment is that there is no members of the public that are in attendance. So go ahead, Michelle.
Thank you. Newman,
Yes.
Potato,
Yes.
Hayden,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Ordinance number 2793, updating the speed code chapter is, and Michelle, just want to check. I know under public comment, I normally ask you if there's anybody that had provided any written comments prior to the meeting, and I forgot to do so. The answer is?
No, there were
Okay.
none. Thank you, though.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that brings us to reports by the city council. Councilmember Potato.
I have nothing tonight.
Wow, Councilmember Brown.
Nothing tonight.
Councilmember Hamilton.
Nothing for me.
Deputy Mayor.
After a dark and stormy weekend, I have no comments.
Won't even comment on that one. Okay, Councilmember Newman.
Following off of Deputy Mayor Hayden, speaking of dark and stormy nights, I would like to thank Public Works staff for clearing so much of the large debris off of the city managed trails and whatnot. Sometimes that's a thankless job, but there were a number of us who appreciated that as we were trying to get our exercise again.
Thank you for your comment and thank you for your thanks for staff. Councilmember Reed.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have nothing this evening.
Wow, it must be the nice weather outside. Everybody's anxious. Okay, on to city administrator, Mr. Wilson.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Coming up at next week's study session, we'll have Josh Metcalf from Murray's Disposal with us to give us an update on their proposed contract amendments. We'll also be hearing from Community Development regarding emergency and transitional housing zoning code updates. Immediately following the study session at approximately 7:15, we'll be hosting a special council meeting for council to consider the ordinance adopting the emergency and transitional housing zoning code updates. As a reminder, there is a deadline imposed by the state legislature that we have to adopt rules by September 30th, hence why we're having a special meeting. At our next regular council meeting on October 4th, you'll be considering the Murray's Disposal Agreement, as well as a collective bargaining agreement with the Police Guild and the corresponding 2021 compensation schedule amendment. Some significant development activity to report on. Pleased to announce that we issued a site development permit for the Sumner High School modernization project, and the building permit is soon to follow. There is a groundbreaking that is scheduled to occur this Thursday. As far as groundbreakings go, about a week and a half ago, Triad Machinery broke ground up in our interchange commercial zone, just north of 24th Street. And Bridges Restaurant, which will be located on Cannery Way, just west of the bridge, is scheduled to break ground in the next couple of weeks. So a lot of exciting development activity going on. And then on the pandemic front, I just wanted to let you know that in response to the increased community spread of COVID-19 and to protect our staff, the mayor has adjusted the in-person availability hours at City Hall effective today. The public can receive in-person services at City Hall Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 9 to 4, and remote staff contact will continue to be available Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. And as a good reminder, many of the services that the city offers are now available online 24/7. So happy to answer any questions.
Any questions council members have for Jason? Any questions? Wow, okay, seeing none. The only item I have is that I got an email from the consultant that was coordinating the formation of the South Sound Housing Affordability Partnership, SHAPE. And since that has been created and we are a member of that, they're trying to create an executive board to go through the various formation items associated with that organization. And we have membership on that executive board. And so the options are, it's either the mayor or the mayor's designee for a council member or the city administrator. So I did a check in with the deputy mayor, and the deputy mayor is going to have her hands full with some other assignments. And so I went down the line and I asked Council Member Newman if she would be interested in representing. She's indicated she will be doing so. So I will send out a confirmation email to all of you just for your information, but I thought I would share that with you. And we'll get to see how this new organization works, and Charlotte will be able to report back to us. I think that's all I have, but I do share the thanks for city staff for the windstorm. I know what I had to clean up around my place, and I know that throughout the city, on the streets and on the trails, it was a mess. And it's always great when you look around town and you see what condition our city is versus other places. And it's because we have great staff. So anyway, that's it. There is no executive session tonight. So being that there's no more business before the city council, this meeting is adjourned at 6:20. Didn't quite get there, Patrick.
Wow.